Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Off the Air Productions on our flagship show, The Voiced Opinion. Today we have a very exciting show brought to you, as always, by your friendly host. I am JSB. I'm joined by the lovely Ben Kaysen and the fearless Jacob Sandoval. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing today?
Dude, fearless for Jacob Sandoval. I like it.
Yeah, he got an upgrade. I missed him so much last week. I thought it was appropriate.
Dude, I appreciate it like immensely, man. I was tired of being called fearful. Like my reputation around town was not doing so hot. Everybody's like, "Wait, you're the fearless guy." That's what people are coming up to me saying that. It was embarrassing.
They just started bullying you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing. I'm just lovely on this show, so I'm good.
Yeah, Ben, you're just sticking to the lovely.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's
nothing
perfect.
wrong with some happiness, right?
Heck yeah, sure.
But ladies and gentlemen, we have a jam-packed show this week. We got a bunch of interesting topics to talk about. The usual games we're going to play and have some fun. We got some fake news, conspiracy theories, and so much more. But let's get it started off with a little bit of test footage that was leaked online. Was it leaked or was it just released?
No. They just released it. It was a screen test.
Interesting. Mr. Kaysen, tell us all about this little screen test we had.
So for Batman coming up, Robert Pattinson, he's kind of been casted into the position. So they released a video. It's probably about a minute long of Batman wearing or Robert Pattinson wearing the Batman suit. It's not Batman wearing Robert Pattinson suit. So it's just kind of a pan shot basically with a little bit of a red dark room. I thought it was kind of cool, guys. I mean, what did you think? Is it something that's already turned you off to Robert Pattinson, or are you excited about it?
I think it looked pretty cool. The suit looked pretty awesome. I didn't like how the cowl looked on his head. It's hard to see from the lighting because the lighting was really dark. But the shape of the head looked kind of goofy. And it's not his chin. The man has a very strong chin. I give him credit where credit is due. But I don't know. The top part of the mask kind of looked funny. I'm really interested in seeing where this goes because I haven't seen Robert Pattinson act in anything. I watched like 15 minutes of a Twilight before, and then I shut it off for obvious reasons. I was in middle school. I'm pretty sure you'd get bullied if you said you watched it.
No, I'm a contrarian because I watched it and I was not bullied.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
No.
Twilight equals bad. That's a fact.
Yeah, but this is the thing. You got props for doing that in my school because all the girls were reading Twilight, and as soon as you said, "Oh no, I've seen the movies," they just wanted to tell you about how the books were so much better. So got a lot of good conversations in with the ladies.
Thanks to the good old Robert Pattinson. How do you think he's going to do with this role? Do you think he's going to do good? Do you think he's going to live up to our pal Ben Affleck?
There's nothing to live up to there, but
yeah.
For this new role, I think just from looking at the costume, and that's all we can say, is I think they're taking it in a pretty serious direction. Like they were trying to do with this other Batman is make it more kind of dark and hardcore. Like the suit that we've seen like so far looks pretty dope. And they also, for the screen test, it was all shaded in this red light, which I think is a lot spookier than a lot of other ways you could have shown that kind of cut. And also this kind of is like interesting to me because I'm wondering if they're going to do something with the Joker movie, because they did the same exact thing with the Joker movie where they did a screen test too that they released. Like there was a leaked video, and then right after the leaked video, they released a screen test footage of Joaquin Phoenix as a Joker, and it looked pretty dope too. So I'm just wondering, like, if this is going to be if this is a DC thing that they're just going to do like test footage, or if this is going to be like a combined universe.
I don't know how you could even. Yeah, I don't know how you could even combine anything with Joker. That was such a whack movie. I don't want to have the same feelings I had when I watched Joker when I watched Batman.
I feel like it's going to be in the same world. It's going to be very dark, but it's going to be more uplifting because, Batman is usually triumphant in the end. And you're going to kind of see this. Oh, I really hope it's not an origin story again. But if it is, you're going to see the rise from the nothing to superhero life or whatever it is with the Batman stories. I'm not a huge DC fan. I don't follow the Batman, so I'm not sure. I enjoyed Joker. I hope, I would feel like it would be a waste if they didn't use him in some way, this Joaquin Phoenix Joker, because they got a lot of hype and a lot of money out of it. So thinking as a company, they would be really like missing out if they didn't like try to get that into their universe somehow. I mean, we saw how Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey did, and they were trying to rock with the old Joker. It was horrible. It was awful. Nobody went to see it. Movie wasn't too bad, but nobody went to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So
did you see what happened with that movie?
They changed the name.
Yeah, what was it called?
It was like after the first week.
Yeah. Like it was originally Birds of Prey, and they're like, well, throw Harley Quinn in front of it so people go and see it. And yeah, pretty funny stuff.
And they tried blaming it on the movie theaters. They're like, oh, we didn't do that. It was all the movie theaters who did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. But I mean, it was an okay movie.
The problem with like putting that Joker in anything though from the new one, honestly, a little bit of spoilers. I don't know if it's even a spoiler technically because it's up for debate, but I'm 90% sure that most of that movie was hallucinated by the character because it's just toes that line. He's not the same comic book villain that you can like throw in a movie like Thanos and get a reaction, have him be a bad guy. I think looking at the cast for the new Batman where they've got Robert Pattinson, but like Colin Farrell is going to play Penguin. So that's what they've decided on. Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman. Mm-hmm. Andy Serkis is Alfred. I mean, those aren't bad casting choices. So I'm interested to see what they do with those. I don't want to see it connected with that Joker movie, actually, because when I watch Batman, I don't want to have the same real. I mean, like you watch that movie with Joker. I wouldn't call it guilt, but you have that very uneasy feeling throughout the entire movie. I don't want to have that during this movie.
Well, because to me, it's like the whole point of the Joker is he's like this mentally unstable guy. And, a lot of his problems happen because the abuse he faced in the society. Mm-hmm. But then at the end of the day, he was evil because he thought it was okay to go kill people. And he felt no remorse for it. So at the end of the day, the Joker was a sad character, but he's also a very evil character.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the thing is like we just saw him turn from being the Arthur so-and-so into the Joker. But then I kind of want to see my whole thing is I wanted to see that transformation from the Joker into the mad clown like we saw from the Dark Knight Batman.
Oh yeah, that was just legendary.
Like the clown who is this master schemer who just manipulates people and is just crazy. And to me, it's like casting a good Joker is really hard. And Joaquin Phoenix right now is the guy. Mm-hmm. Like he won an Oscar for his performance. So it's like, why wouldn't you utilize that? But at the same time, I think you're kind of right, Ben, when you say like it was a very, very not awkward, but like a very, very jarring movie.
Yeah.
In the sense of like about his character and like what the people wanted you to feel about his character. Like they wanted you to feel sorry for him. But at the end of the day, he is a pretty evil guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he ran down a guy in the subway, just gunned him down.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys think this Batman movie is going to be successful? Do you think it'll do good for DC, or do you think it's going to be another Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey?
This is the thing. Batman is one of those iconic characters like Spider-Man, and I don't think they've had a bad Spider-Man that's not made them money. Like they've had a bad Spider-Man that nobody's liked, but all the Spider-Man movies have made money. So I think Batman's the same kind of character.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think it's gonna do good. Now I don't know if it's gonna be a good movie because I just keep on thinking like, what stories can they do that haven't been seen already with Batman?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be a great movie. I think it'll be like one of those fun popcorn flicks, turn it off and have fun with it. But I don't know how good it's gonna be in the long run.
I don't know. Ben was talking about that casting lineup. It seems like it's going to be a pretty intense movie with the amount of people. And I'm telling you, Robert Pattinson, like very talented actor. I seen him in The Lighthouse, and then he also has this really weird French film where he's a prisoner. He's taking care of a baby. Super like great acting skills. It's like crazy, like how diverse this guy's acting is, and like how committed he is to a role. Twilight, not that good in, but I also think that was like his first step into the acting world.
He was in Harry Potter as well, way back.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
pretty good in that position. Cedric Diggory.
Diggory, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, poor guy. He just walked into the lair and got killed.
Yeah, I still cry sometimes about that.
Dude, don't admit that on air, dude.
Oh, sorry, I forgot the mic was on.
Alrighty. So we are just going to have to see how this Batman movie does. Hopefully it'll do good, but, I guess we'll just have to wait and see how everything goes. But another thing I saw this weekend was Toy Fair 2020, which is a big event for me. They announced so many cool toys, and I get way too excited for. But they also announced that they're making a Transformers Netflix series. It's going to be animated, and I'm pretty hyped about it. Transformers is one of those series to me that for some reason I have fallen deeply in love with. I collect a lot of the figures. I have so much fun with the characters because they're all weird and goofy, and everybody I'm sure has seen the movies, which are, they're bad movies, but they're fun to watch. And then the original 1980s cartoon is just so cheesy and corny, and I just love all the characters. And I'm really excited that we're going to see a Netflix series based on the Transformers, and it's going to be, from what it seems, a little more serious. I'm pretty sure it's still going to be a kid show, but a little more serious of a kid show. You guys saw the trailers. What are your thoughts?
Boring.
Yikes.
This is the thing about Transformers, and I think you feel the same way about a lot of Disney's film, JSB, is they just keep on remaking these shows, these TV series, or these movies with these uninspired plots and these uninteresting characters other than the characters we grew up with. And that's, to me, it's like, I'm not going to watch for the fifth time how Bumblebee is a cool guy and how Optimus Prime is a cool guy and how Megatron is a bad guy. Because that's all these movies are really doing for me, is they're just showing me who's good, who's bad, and why they're cool. And I'm sick of it. I'm done with it.
No, that's fair. I'll give you that.
Wow, he can say it pretty quickly on that.
No, because I'll admit it 100%. It's a very, very goofy series. Like from the original TV show, it was made to sell toys to kids. That's the whole reason the show was made. It's not that there was a story to tell or something. It's just that they wanted to sell toys to kids. And I guess this series, I feel, is really made for the fans of Transformers, because a lot of the stuff here in the series that I'm seeing so far is really a love letter to the fans that have actually grown attached to these characters. So I feel like, with you said you're tired of it, and that's fair because they have made a lot of Transformers stuff in these past couple of years, but this finally seems like a faithful representation of the characters that we real Transformers fans who grew up with the cartoons. I didn't grow up with it, but I watched it a lot. Because with the Michael Bay movies that came out, they were really, really crappy to the characters. They really didn't do them justice. It was rough for a Transformers fan to watch those movies. But it's finally this series is coming out, and it's actually going to give the original characters back their glory, and it's going to be a fun show for fans. I don't think it's going to appeal to a lot of people, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be a Witcher or one of these series that has a wide variety of fans. I think it's a really specific show for a niche audience. Ben, what did you think of the trailer?
Well, I've got no skin in the game, guys, because I didn't really grow up a Transformers fan. I mean, I've seen most of the movies, but and honestly, it looked kind of cool. I liked the trailer. It looked cool. I like action. The animation style was really interesting. It reminded me of the way that the new Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse, was animated. A little bit more realistic looking, but I mean, I'm open for it. The animation looked really cool. We'll see what happens, but again, like I said, I'm not a huge Transformers fan as is, so I'm not sure yet.
The part that I'm really excited about is the little things, because all of the models in the trailer, they're actually based off of the toy line that's going on right now. So every model for each character has all the hinges, all the holes, everything exactly from the toys themselves. I think that's just like a cool little nod for the fans who probably collected. But that's what the series is made for, really. I think. I think it can get a lot of people who can enjoy it, like just because it's action. But I think it's also made for the people who probably have the whole line of toys and can notice they're the same models.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right that it's made for people to buy toys, and not really people, but children. I think this is going to be one of those shows that parents are okay letting their kids watch, because it's just robots shooting each other. Because to me, it's like this is just another money grab for Transformers and Netflix.
See, that's my friend. I agreed with most of what you said, but right there, I don't think that's going to be right, because this series is also based off of the IDW comics series they have going on right now, which has the same title. And you would honestly be surprised what they do with the comics. The stories get pretty deep and pretty crazy for a silly toy line. So I think you might be surprised how deep the story is going to be. It's not going to be, like I said, it's still going to be a show made for kids to sell toys, but I think you'll be surprised. You'd have to give it a little more credit to what they can do with the story of these characters.
I see. I see a platform who's been doing extremely well over the years, and a movie franchise that has been declining. And now they come out with a series with this streaming platform that's doing really well. And they're like, hey, let's do this series on the streaming platform and then sell toys. I think it's a great move by them, but I also think it's what Disney does when it comes to all of its old franchises, like The Lion King and whatnot, is, let's rebrand it, see how much we can make off of it, and deal with it afterwards. Because to me, it's like, if this season, the first season doesn't do well, they're not going to make a season 2. And if they were really being loyal and forthcoming with just like doing it for the fans, they would have it like they would put 3 seasons out right now. That's just how I see it.
Well, that I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree, Mr. Sandoval. But it's a fair take. I'm excited to see this series as a big fan, and I guess we'll just have to see if it's good or not. Just like with the Batman, only time can tell. Yeah. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the next segment of the show, and it is one of our many fun games and bits that we have, and we are going to start off with the conspiracy theory of the day. Ben, do you have something in the works for us today?
I've got something in the works for you today. Now, here's the thing. Man. I don't know if I actually endorse what these say. I'm not really sure, but it's a really interesting thing to think about. So, you guys know, how much do you guys know about Middle Eastern geography? Do you know where Israel is?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Israel is basically surrounded by a bunch of Islamic nations around it. They're almost constantly in war, specifically Iraq and Syria. And so there are a ton of theories that have come up in the last 7 or 8 years from these Muslim countries alleging that the Israelis have been using these different types of animals to attack civilians or to conduct espionage upon their countries. So this isn't like as far as like saying we've got dogs to sniff out like drugs or bombs, or like we've got alpacas to help us carry stuff. No, like in 2010, the Egyptians, they claimed that the Israelis were doing something with sharks. So there were like a major influx of shark attacks in December 2010, right on the beaches up there in the Mediterranean. And so the Israeli Foreign Ministry said that the Fadil Shusha is the name of the guy from South Sinai who was accusing him of this. He said he'd seen Jaws one time too many. And so there was this conspiracy theory right then that the Israelis had been putting GPS devices in sharks. They've been tracking them, and that in that, however, they did something to make them more aggressive, basically, and they were attacking civilians. Then more countries have been shooting down vultures and eagles over their countries in that area. And many of them have been finding Israeli trackers or cameras. At least that's what they claim. So like in 2011, a Benelli's eagle, which is really rare in Lebanon, shot it down and they found an Israeli camera, they think, that was strapped to its ankle. And then for mammals, Palestine accused Israeli of releasing wild hyenas nearby some local cities, and wild boars have been released in Palestine, according to them. And then a bit more kind of right now is the Iranians have been claiming that Israelis and others have been putting these reptiles with some sort of small cameras or trackers where they will work their way towards nuclear stuff. So they like found out that the skin of reptiles attracts atomic waves and they become attracted to that. So the Iranians and even their supreme leader, they accused the Western countries of sending small reptiles, tracking them, and trying to find any sort of nuclear activity. So it's just this crazy thing where we're not sure if either A, this is some stuff that's going on, B, it's a mix of both, or C, it's just a lot of conspiracy and blaming things for the troubles that these Middle Eastern countries have had with defeating Israel on the battlefield. But nonetheless, it's really interesting. I don't know if it's something that's realistically going on, but, what do you guys think?
Man, that is an actual really interesting conspiracy there. Countries using animals as spies and weapons.
Yeah.
Man, that's actually... Now, see, it seems like it's something that could be just a conspiracy, because people put wildlife cameras on birds all the time, right? That's something people do. I've seen it. They attach a camera, let the bird fly around, get some cool footage, But it could also be a spy. It could be a thing, these other, you said Western countries. So I'm assuming they're talking about the U.S., right?
Yeah, they're talking about Israel and its allies, which the U.S. is a really big ally of Israel.
So I feel, right there, I think that would be them being paranoid, because I feel like the United States has like enough stealth drones and whatnot to do some spying and not need a bird. Now for the lizards, what if they're being sent by the lizard people?
Oh, that's interesting. We get a free conspiracy number 2.
They have a better control of reptiles because they are reptiles, and they can easily control them and use them to, gauge nuclear power.
He's 100% right.
I think that makes a little more sense than the Western countries using that, when I'm sure countries like the United States and Israel's allies have tech strong enough to sense all these things without needing an animal.
See, this comes down to what JSB was saying about the lizard people. When did we get lizard people? We didn't have them way before in like the 1800s. We had them when we had the nuclear bomb. Lizard people are attracted to nuclear radiation. So guess what? The number one lizard man, what's his name? Facebook guy. What's his name? I forgot
Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg.
The Zuck.
That's why he's so into technology and social media, because he's trying to find those nuke codes so he can take them for his people. The lizard people are out there, Ben. You better watch out.
Well, this has gone off the rails completely.
Yeah, no. But
I dig that.
But for the story at hand, this conspiracy, I think it is a little bit of everything. Whereas, like, the shark thing seems wild. I don't know why that would be something any government would participate in, getting sharks to attack people more.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem worthwhile. But the bird thing, that is interesting because, I could definitely see people just conducting trial runs and seeing if it would work. If you can send like a falcon out to go scope out an area and then bring back the falcon, get the footage real fast. Because all they can, like, I forget how high they go, but they can go extremely high really fast, like scope out a whole entire area and then come right back down. And you take that footage, look over it really quick and see if the coast is clear or not. I definitely think a plausible thing, but I don't know if it's something they were doing. But maybe so. Who knows?
Maybe.
And that's
How's
why.
me thinking though?
And that's just a conspiracy.
Yeah. Is it
That was
fake
a good
news
one,
though?
Ben. I appreciate that. That was a one out of the box, something that we haven't heard from. And next week, Sandoval, I hope you have the juiciest of conspiracies ready for us because we're ready to get our minds blown, my friend.
Yeah, get ready. Get ready.
Dude, I'm ready.
Well,
All right.
You got to be ready next week, not this week.
Oh, okay. I'll be ready this week.
No, next week, dude.
Oh, I'll be ready next week.
There we go.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get to our favorite segment. And that is, actually, now that I think about it, every segment is our favorite segment.
That's right.
Well, back to the point. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for fake news. It is a great show. We have a lot of fun with it. Ben, go ahead and once again tell us with the rules of this amazing show you made up.
All right, so here's the deal with fake news. Today it's Jacob. So Jacob has brought 3 stories to us. 2 of them are real. 1 of them is not real. I'm just going to tell you guys right now, I'm an expert at picking out which one is not real, but play along at home. Try and find out which of Jacob's stories is not real. I'll tell you which one it is whenever I make my pick, but Jacob, try and deceive us here. Let's see.
Dude, I'm trying to dupe everybody this time around. You guys better be ready. Put on your thinking cap.
Ben needs redemption from being duped.
I did get duped last time. JSB duped me.
Dude, I wasn't on the podcast last week, but I listened to it. Man, he got you so good, dude.
Rip.
Did I get you though? Did you fall for my tricks, Sandoval?
I think so. I can't remember what the stories were, but you definitely got me. So
it was good.
It was good. Yeah. But this week I got some stories, and the first one is gonna be coming out of Ohio because Gun Girl.
No.
Do you guys know who Gun Girl is?
No.
So there's this girl on the internet from Ohio University, and she is a self-proclaimed gun rights activist, and she's been all over the internet and her social media, like posing with guns, like open carrying, everything. And she just recently decided that she was coming up with a plan on doing an open carry walk at Ohio University.
Oh, God.
Now, this is the thing. Most campuses do not allow open carry. And she's trying to get a group of individuals to go to Ohio University and do an open carry walk where they all have, like, I'm pretty sure on most campuses, you're not allowed to have a firearm.
Yeah, I think that's a general rule.
Yeah, I think that's so. This girl, Gun Girl, Caitlin Bennett, she's gonna go out there and rally the troops and try to get these people to walk.
That's just stupid. That sounds very real to me. I'm just gonna say it. That sounds really real to me. But that's
it's. I'm almost certain that one's real because people are that dumb these days, especially kids who think their sides are right. Now, of course, I think both sides have stupid people who would do stupid things like this, but this is just an example of a dumb kid who thinks their thing is right and they don't think of the consequences. I'd be surprised if SWAT doesn't show up.
Well, we'll have to see if she actually goes through with it because it is illegal to do it. But, I don't know. She has heard about it yet, but, we'll have to wait and see.
Area 51.
Or maybe this is all fake and she said, you know what, we're just going to have a dinner on campus where we're just going to talk about guns. Maybe I just twisted up the story. You guys never know.
Jesus, Sandoval, you can't say stuff like this. You get me confused.
Yeah. All right. Here, well, Len, let me go on to the next story. And this one is going to be in a little state called California.
That's my favorite state.
That's not a little state. Fake news.
It's the littlest state. Oh, it's like California, Rhode Island. Those are the two smallest states. All right. But in California, this happened a couple days ago. Bees attacked policemen, firefighters, and locals. And when the bees keepers came to the site, they said there was an estimated over 30 to 40,000 bees who attacked these people.
Where was that? Like, are they like by a bee farm and they all made a big escape, or was it just?
No. It was just in the local community. Something happened. Like reports started coming in about bees attacking locals. Police officers came to the scene. Firefighters came to the scene, and they just saw a lot of bees there.
How many did they arrest?
Well, the beekeeper said there's an estimated about 40 to 30,000 bees. So maybe they arrested all of them. Maybe some of them got away. Like there's footage.
A lot of bees.
There's footage of firefighters. Like usually they have those water hoses spraying water. They were spraying smoke everywhere. So kind of ironic if you ask me. But yeah, and then I heard there was also news that Nicolas Cage was there screaming "bees, bees."
That's fake.
Just kidding. That last part was fake. That last part was fake. But no.
Have you seen Arrested Development?
The Wicker Man didn't happen. Man, that's a good movie.
No, it's not. I hate it. But no, there was no Nicolas Cage. But this happened in California, so maybe Nicolas Cage was close by because he's a Hollywood guy.
Yeah, maybe.
Yep. So that's that story. And now to the final story. And this is going to be a doozy because, before the show, we were looking for news stories to talk about just during the show. And we didn't see this one, but I found it in the deep interwebs. Avatar 2. Everybody knows that movie, right?
Yeah.
The Last Airbender?
No. The new Avatar movie based off of the one that broke records, Avatar. The one
James
about
Cameron.
Was awful.
James. Yeah. Well,
It wasn't bad.
Box
It
office
was
says
awful.
different. Box office said it was number one for about how many years? It was a long time until Star Wars happened and Marvel
Yeah.
But
happened.
you gotta admit that movie was kind of boring. We've seen that
No.
plot how many times?
What are you talking about?
So funny story about this. Sorry to throw you guys off, but so in elementary school, I went to this school in Texas, and it was this is really stupid. But so we were in fourth grade. The movie had just come out, and so our teacher, he was from Turkey, and so he had just moved here, and so he was still learning the do's and don'ts of teaching in America. So what he did is he went onto this pirated website while the movie was in theaters, and he played it for us during class as fourth graders without getting us to sign any sort of permission slips. And then he got viruses all over the school computer and got into a bunch of trouble because he pirated Avatar.
Oh
That's
God.
a real story. That really happened.
That's hilarious. It
Only
is
in America.
It is a good movie. No matter what JSB says, everybody else says different. It's a great
As
movie.
usual.
But anyways, they've been holding, like, they've moved the date back so many times, and they've done it again. It was supposed to be finished and done by 2021, but now it's going to be pushed back all the way to 2025 because there was a leaked image of one of the Avatar babies, and fans and James Cameron have problems with it big time.
Was it the Ice Age baby?
No. It was just a picture of one of the Avatar babies, and James, like sources said, James Cameron did not like the look of the baby, and then audiences on Twitter were like, "What the heck are we looking at?"
What?
Yeah, it was old.
Back 4 years because there was a picture of a baby.
So I'm assuming because they have to redo the whole animation of the like Avatar baby, and like about the Sonic thing, right?
Yeah.
It was held back for a couple months, but knowing James Cameron, how he's like a perfectionist, because like I forget when the original date was for Avatar 2.
I think it was 2021.
No,
I'm pretty excited about it.
That wasn't the original date, was it?
Oh, you mean like the actual original date? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. That's the date now is 2021, but they moved it back to 2025 because of this. They want to go back and redo everything and make sure everything looks right. And I'm assuming it's because they must have to deal a lot with this baby.
You see, I think we've caught you in the lie because I don't think that it would take 4 years to retexture something like that.
For a whole movie?
Yeah, for a whole movie. Sonic did it in like 6 months.
Yeah, but James Cameron, right?
Yeah, but like I also don't think that James Cameron would be like like, oh, the audience reacted bad to my baby. Let's delay it 4 years.
No. He said he had problems with it because it was a leaked image. And
isn't he a part of the production team?
But he'd never.
So he had to see it by a leak.
Ben, you can go with the story. Go with the story by all means, Ben.
Oh, I am.
But I'm just trying to explain it to you that these things have a weird way of leaking. And let's say animate, like they have the concept art, and James Cameron's like, okay, that looks all right, and then they go edit it in the 3D maker or whatever they use. And he's just like chilling at home, sipping a cup of coffee. And then he looks down on his phone. Everybody's tweeting at him. He's like, what's this? What the heck is that thing? That looks nothing like the concept art you gave me. Go remake it. And so another 4 years.
I know this movie is going to be awful. So I 100% agree. I believe they probably made something that awful that they need to go back and fix, though it's going to be even more awful. Did you not see how awkward and uncomfortable that weird tail sex made you feel while watching that movie? Do you think something beautiful came out of that? No, an ugly baby came out of that. Yeah. So this is the story that makes the most sense to me, to be honest.
I try to tell Ben, but I don't know. He must think Gun Girl's real. He must think Gun Girl's real, but it might be. But those are the 3 stories. What do you guys think?
Man, those are some good stories. All of them are pretty crazy. I think the most believable one is the B one, though.
The most believable one is B?
Yeah, I have to go with that one. It seems like it's just crazy enough to be real. But personally, my pick for the fake news of this week, I'm going with Gun Girl.
Gun Girl?
I think that she would realize how bad of an idea this was before she actually did it. And the chances of being shot due to shootings and stuff. I think, and I would hope for our society that is the fake news for everyone's sake.
I think it says something about the way I think about other human beings that I think that's the most realistic one.
Oh, God.
I'm like, I could totally see someone doing that. And I'm going to bet that she actually did do that. I think that the James Cameron story is a joke because I think that James Cameron is, like you said, he's a control freak. he's not gonna see this Avatar baby from a leak if he's the guy who's in charge of it. And then if it was bad, it wouldn't be moved back 4 years. I think that's a pretty easy fake news for me.
Well, Ben, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This is the thing. You know, that 4 years was the dead giveaway.
Yeah.
But no, I think the whole concept of the gun girl thing, I think she probably won't go through with it.
I hope not.
And I feel like they're not going to let her, because if you're going to have any kind of walk on campus, like, you got to get it approved by the people who are there.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, if people just show up with guns to campus, there's definitely going to be some kind of a police response. So
Yeah.
she
Oh, the
definitely,
military.
it's a real story, but it's definitely, I don't think it will happen. But, you know, Caitlin Bennett, gun girl, definitely. And there was this big story from Barstool Sports about gun girl, that she went to a frat party and pooped herself.
What?
It was a wild story, because she had, like, it was about a year ago, I think. Like, there was a story about how people they said it was like true, but then other people are like, no, it's just a rumor that gun girl went to a frat party and pooped herself. And, you know, people roasted her for a long time on the internet, and they still do it. So
Well, hey, don't poop yourself when you go to a frat
gross.
party. It's not hard.
oh, and that bee thing, definitely real. Happened in Pasadena, to California.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like things got a tad bit buzzy over there.
Oh, man.
A tad bit buzzy, did they?
You could have went with, like, I guess everybody were busy bees that day.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
That's
guess
good.
things got a little sticky.
What? No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
Mm.
Why do you guys hate me?
And also from that bee story, there was also talks of who do you call it? Who's that one bee movie guy?
Oh, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld was down there casting for Bee Movie 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that really a thing that's happening? There's no way.
No.
That's a sequel I'm excited for.
That's fake
Oh,
as well. That's
Gosh, good. That's just think though, B movie. I'm not saying it's a terrible movie, but who comes up like we're hanging out in whatever production company that is, and somebody comes up with the idea. Here's the idea: a love story between a human girl,
yeah.
and a bee.
But this is the thing.
Bye.
This is the thing about B movie. It made $287 million.
Yeah,
in the box office.
that's great.
So, this is the thing. It is a silly movie, but it did what it was supposed to do: make money.
Yeah, you're right.
See,
Yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to see what happens with a lot of those stories. I can tell you right now, Avatar 2 is not going to be good, but that's just my psychic intuition. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get to the final segment of the night. And of course, we always ended up the same way. We do the rant of the day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do one of you guys want to start with a spicy little rant?
Ben can take it away.
Yeah, I'll go for it. So let's start out with a show that, admittedly, I don't watch very much anymore. It's called American Idol. Have either of you guys heard of it before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic American show, but they've changed out the actors or the what are they? The judges. That's the word I'm looking for. The judges.
Oh, dude.
The
Yep.
judges right now are Luke Bryan, which his faces, man, they just kill me. They just kill me. But then they've also got Katy Perry and what's that other guy's name?
Nick Jonas.
No, he's on The Voice.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That is. Wait.
It's the guy that sings
Blake
Hello.
Shelton?
Oh, no.
Adele?
No. It's the black
No.
guy.
What is his name? Oh gosh. I'm gonna take some heat for this. But nonetheless, those judges I watched a little bit of that first episode, and the problem with it was that they are not the same as
Lionel Richie.
Oh, it's Lionel Richie. That's it.
Yeah.
Lionel Richie. Hey, we get it at the same time. He's not the same as the Simon Cowell, Randy Jackson judges that actually, tell people that they are terrible.
Paula
Like I
Abdul,
watched,
Randy
Paul
Jackson.
Abdul's
Yeah.
there. Yeah, it's a no for me, dog. I like that a lot. But on this show, there's this girl who came in, and no offense, but I mean, it wasn't what American Idol's looking for. Simon Cowell and Randy Jackson and Paula Abdul would have had a field day, but these judges are they have to be nice to everybody, and they're like, "Oh, that was incredible. You should go on Broadway. We don't need you here though," and stuff like that. I mean, I swear, these guys were saying every single performance was great. It's not what I want to see when I watch American Idol. I'm not super positive. I like to see the, blunt truth that Simon Cowell would bring to it. So I'm just going to say it. American Idol on the decline, and that's why.
I 100% agree. Like that's what everybody remembers about American Idol.
Yeah.
Are the crappy first few episodes where everybody's really bad and they make fun of them.
Yeah.
Right? How many of the American Idol winners actually do people care about? Maybe 1 or 2, 3 perhaps?
Yeah.
Probably
Not-
3.
Not a lot. There's Carrie Underwood, sure, but like
Kelly
still.
I think
Overall.
there's only 2 or 3.
What's that
And-
one guy that won pretty recently? The country guy.
Scotty McCurry.
Florida,
That's it. Yep,
Georgia
that's it.
line.
That's a band. Britney Spears.
Well, what I was saying is that nobody wants to see people be nice to each other. That's why nobody's watching this show anymore. And, people need to, grow some thick skins. Let people give you some hard truths and take it. People are going to be mean in this world. Not everyone's going to be nice. Not everyone's on your team. Not everyone's here to make you feel good about yourself. So learn how to take criticism, learn how to not cry about it, and maybe don't try American Idol because it's whack and nobody cares.
See, I think this is one of the things is I kind of agree with you, Ben, on it might go down, but at the end of the day, people go in people get hooked on the show because of those crazy bad first few episodes where it's just auditions, but people stay to see what happens in the final 15. Where
Yeah, sure, but that's it's kind of like that's a different show. Because it's like whenever you're watching at that point, it's people we know are good that we're breaking it down. When you're watching these, I mean,
but
I don't want to hear that everyone is good.
But that's when you have the highest viewership, is when people are tuning in to vote for their person. I think that's what's happening is they're trying to go in with this more positive kind of feel to it. And honestly, people think the first parts on it are hilarious, but usually people just go to YouTube and look up worst American Idol
Simon Cowell
auditions.
destroys.
Yes, right. Rather than go and look for it on the TV station to see, who they gonna roast this time. They usually just go to YouTube nowadays, so there's no point of being rude and shocking. All you got to do is get your audience to that last 15, and then that's where people will keep watching, and that's where their viewership matters. That's how I feel.
Hey, good for them. I'm just saying, for my own enjoyment, more fun when they roast people. That's all I got to say. Rant of the day.
I'm on your side there, Ben. I'm on your side. Now, Sandoval, what do you got cooking in the oven for your rant?
Man, this is the thing. I had it just a second ago. Then I forgot it.
You
I'll
just
go
told it to
first,
us.
then.
It's the Windows 7 thing.
There we go. That's what I was thinking about. I was trying to figure it out, Ben, and you brought it back to my head.
You're welcome.
So, when I'm not making these dope podcasts, I work IT, and I've been to about 5, maybe 10 offices where people are still running on Windows 7 PCs. And to me, it's crazy because when Windows 10 came out, of course, people are a lot of tech people are don't get it because it's going to be buggy and it's going to be slow. But then after a couple years, they'll recommend you getting it and it's completely free. all you got to do is go to Windows 10 download on Google, and like the first option there is a download from Microsoft. And you just click it, install it. It takes about an hour, and then you have Windows 10. All these people using Windows 7 are wild to me, because all it's doing is making it a lot less easier for anybody to use your computer, and a lot more easier. Oh, what am I saying right now? I forgot how to use the English language for about 5 seconds there. But no, it
You're
makes
so
it
angry.
Yeah, it makes it harder for you to use your computer, because the operating systems are running slow, or they have to convert back to an old system. Like Java can't be upgraded on a Windows 7 computer because it's compatible to Windows 10. So like all the JavaScript, Flash games, anything like that won't work. But it also makes it a lot easier for people to get into your account, because they are like, as of January, I think it was maybe February actually, as of like February 2020, they're no longer providing security updates for Windows 7. So now you have all these companies that still use Windows 7. And believe it or not, there's a lot of government companies that were still running Windows 7. They have to go back now and change it all to Windows 10 so they continue to have those security updates. And it's to me, it's like you waited for the last second, and now it's going to be the worst, because you have all these operating systems and all this software that has to check to see if it's compatible with Windows 10, and a lot of them aren't. And then there's some files like there's some computers I was looking at last week. They were still running Windows XP and still Office 2003.
Oh my god!
You know,
I like it. Yeah, I like that.
How can you function a business?
I don't know. It's crazy to walk into a place and see that, and you're just like, oh no, what am I supposed to do with this computer? Because Windows 2000 or Office 2003 doesn't work for Microsoft or Windows 10. So it's a crazy world out there for IT people. If you have an XP or a Windows 7, either throw it away or upgrade it. Please. Just do all of us IT people a favor. Please.
Helpful advice from Jacob Sandoval.
What are they paying you
life.
for?
do it yourself. It makes my
Improve
job
your life and upgrade.
Upgrade now. It's free. That's all you gotta do.
Skip updates. That's what I always click.
No, don't do
cares?
that. If you do
Dan's
that,
computer has 10 viruses living
On my
inside
computer, on my phone, on my whatever.
it, including hepatitis.
Whack.
nice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my rants of the day today. It's not as fierce as they usually are. This one's a little more tamed back, because I had a relatively good week full of minor annoyances, not the major annoyances I'm used to.
Like old ladies.
Like old ladies and slow drivers, the two worst things in the world.
Oh my gosh.
As I mentioned earlier today on the show, this weekend was Toy Fair 2020, and we had a lot of amazing announcements, especially from the Star Wars toys. If you're a Star Wars fan, there's a lot of cool Star Wars stuff coming out. There's a lot of Baby Yodas, a lot of cool retro Star Wars stuff coming back, because it is I think it's the 25th or 20th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. Or maybe it's the 50th. I don't know. It's a big deal this year. So there's a lot of cool toys coming out for it. And they announced a reaction line of the original Kenner figures from Empire Strikes Back. So they're re-releasing them new on card, which is a big deal, because getting any of those Kenner toys from classics costs a lot of money. It costs like $50 a piece for a good condition one. And here is Hasbro helping you out, selling you a brand new one in the box. And of course, guess who is getting a figure along with this wave? Boba Fett, my favorite. Yes, I will finally I have an original Kenner Boba Fett, but soon I will have a new one. There's one catch. Brace yourself, my friends. It's a Walmart exclusive.
Oh my gosh. Thank goodness you told me to brace myself because I wasn't ready for that.
My socks are off.
Why do these toy companies have to do these dumb exclusive things? They should just let people buy them from wherever. Don't they want the most money possible? I mean, sure, they have these deals with these stores where, if you only sell them there, Walmart will pay you some money. But seriously, Walmart's distribution on Star Wars figures are god awful. I've been to a Walmart at least once a day looking for a vintage collection Mandalorian. And do you think I've even come close to finding him? No. There's just the same 5 Luke Skywalkers that nobody wants.
Dude,
Mark Hamill, we love you. But no.
I love Luke, dude.
Yeah, he's a great guy, but I don't want no Luke Skywalker action figure. I already got Luke Skywalker. You have one at Luke Skywalker, you have them all. But it just annoys me that now I'm going to have to track down, do research, find out the release date, go in contact with all of the Walmarts in my town and try to figure out which one's getting any, if they're getting any at all. And then try to fight off all these other collectors just to get one little Boba Fett. And if I fail, I'll probably have to pay double or even triple the price. So that's my rant of the day. I'm mad at these toy companies who have to do these dumb exclusive deals, which really help nobody and just annoy collectors worldwide. It's good to get it off my chest.
Yeah, I mean, that helps Walmart at the very least. They're paying them some dollars. I don't hate that as much as you do, but obviously I'm not a big collector of toys. So
I hate it. That. I hate it how much ASB. I say let everybody sell it. Because I do think in the long run, you make more money. Because to me, like I'm always walking down the action figure section to see if there's anything that catches my eye that I need in my life. Even though I'm not a big collector, it's definitely one of those things. Like if I find like a really dope Darth Vader's, like anywhere, I might buy it up because he's one of the coolest characters in Star Wars, and I have no memorabilia of him. Like nothing.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like, how am I supposed to pay homage to this character if I don't have anything to pay homage with? So I always make sure to check out the aisles, and I find nothing. So it's
I don't get why they got to make it more complicated for everyone. Just make it easy. Just buy it wherever.
Right. I like that.
And they're wondering why all of toy sales are going to Amazon and Big Bad Toy Store. It's obvious.
Yeah.
People just want to buy their stuff right away.
Yeah.
Oh, stresses me out. But ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for tonight. You are listening to The Voiced Opinion right here on Off the Air Productions. Any closing thoughts, Ben, Jacob?
My closing thoughts are that was super awesome, and I'm pretty excited for next week. I'm hoping that we can get Ben and Jacob Sports out this week sometime, so be sure to check that out. That's our sports show. And, it's been a lot of fun like always. You can't beat me on the fake news. That's just a fact. You just can't beat me. So
except I beat you last.
Yeah.
Well, I was asleep for that one. That's on me. That's when I'm awake, you can't beat me.
Okay, Mr. Ben. We'll see next week what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And closing thoughts for me, I'm just going to have to say that, I'm excited to see what happens with the Ben and Jacob Sports Show. And we're definitely going to be talking about what's going on in the world of sports, but also keep your eye out for new podcasts. Ben and JSB were doing a little preview of it on the last episode, but Skirmish, I listened to that and I thought there was some really funny stuff where you take 2 random characters from anywhere and you pit them up against each other and see who wins that battle. I think that's going to be a lovely podcast. Keep your eye out for that.
It's going to be a great time. We have so many fun shows in the work. So fans of Off the Air Productions, brace yourself. And you all have a wonderful week. Have a great, very fun-filled week. And I hope you guys have no rants of the day. I hope everything's just great and you have no need to rant at all. You are listening to The Voiced Opinion on Off the Air Productions. Have a great week.